still to go as we've got a six-man tag match. The Fabulous Ones will be here a little bit later on. Sitting with me right now is our guest commentator, Steve O. And Steve, I kind of feel bad about the fact that a lot of the difficulties in getting back into the swing after your wrist and hand finally got in shape took place right out here. And year and a half you were out, 3 operations, and son of a gun, the first thing the sheepherders do is go after that doggone hand and wrist.
Well, it's thank you very much for the kind words. A lot of people had some kind words for me too, but it's something, everybody goes through in life. They got to, step up and face things, face the challenges. After a while you get to wonder though, how many challenges, how many bridges do you have to cross? 3 operations in 3 years. Maybe somebody's telling me something. Maybe my destiny is sitting here behind the desk. I really don't feel like it. I still got the energy, the drive, the desire to get in there and be very competitive, but after a while you just got to kind of wonder.
I guess. Well, I tell you what, we're going to give the folks an opportunity to see some of the action that took place and what happened to Steve's hand. We've got so many outstanding bouts last Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. We've got a whole segment we wanted to show you the highlights of many of the matches that took place, least of which was a very important loser-leave town match between Dutch Mantell and big Canadian kid Jacques Rougeau. Let's take a look at this highlight segment. Rougeau waited. He's got a chain on his fist. We saw it. Covers Dutch up. Dutch, I think, is under the rope. Yep, he drops a leg over it. And Rougeau thought he had a pin after nailing Dutch with that chain. Fires the Dutchman in and misses a drop kick. Dutch held on. A rare miss by Rougeau with that drop kick. Rougeau shaking it off, and Mantell is already up. The Dutchman nails it. The Dutchman's got a chain. 1, 2, 3. He got him. Right in Idle's face came the fire after the match.
Standard, he's in behind Steve O with Dundee, and the referee calls for a bell in 6 minutes 45 seconds. Dundee and Steve O have won the match, but the action continues as Jonathan Boyd has that flag standard, and Dundee out of the ring, and now Lance are going to work on the hand of Steve O. Steve was out of action for a year and a half, and they catch him with that flag standard right on the bat. It was a bad hand, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Steve had a lot of trouble with that arm.
3 operations on that wrist and hand.
And the sheepherders know that, and they're taking advantage of it. Bill outside the ring. Hopefully Bill can come in and help. He was caught by that flag standard. Dundee was hurt with that flag standard. Dundee, as the sheepherders really working on that hand of Steve O. They're pounding away. Oh, my goodness. Right on the hand. You can see it as Steve O in very bad pain. Hopefully Bill can come in and help him out. Dundee was caught.
It's turned around. Look at that turn. He held on to that rope, flipped himself back in, and this could be it. 2, 3, he got it. Sensational move. Jimmy Cornette dumping some powder right in Steve's face. Pile driver. Barr and Street have lost it, so they're now picking on the Fabs. Adrian Street down, grabbed the belts off the table. Though Stan and Steve won it again while everybody else was in action up there. Street grabbed the belts. raise the belts all they want, but Kern and Lane are the Southern Tag Champions. Hart's work done. He's down off the ring apron. Beautiful drop kick. He covers 2, 3. 12 minutes, 28 seconds. A new Mid-America champion. Stagger Lee. Well, there comes one of the Bruise brothers, the Prince, up in the ring. Stagger Lee wins the belt from Beautiful Bobby on a real stunning upset. But now the First Family jumping away at him. They're trying to get the mask off of Stagger Lee, and here comes the King. Well, you talk about action, man. I tell you what, after looking at just that series of highlights right there from the Coliseum, Steve, I think this is an awfully good place to be.
After watching that film, though, it's something about after a football team watches the films, of their victory. In our hands, we're raised in that match, but, the fact that they had to, they weren't man enough to accept that they had to attack you after the bell was over, and after, when 2-on-1.
They used a brass bar, too. Well, yeah, I see him. I know all about that. In addition to that, I know that it's costing Mr. Cornette $100 a day. Let us come down here in the working parlor, Jimmy.
Possession is 9/10 of the law, Lance. Let me ask you something. I recall about 6 months ago, I stood out here and said I'd be one of the top managers in professional wrestling, and nobody believed me, and I did it. And 2 weeks ago, I stood out here and I said that we would have the Southern Tag Team Championship belts, and we've got them. So that means that I know what I'm talking about, and we've got a handicap match coming up. Is that right, against the Fabulous Ones?
That is true.
Well, I don't care how high they can jump, how low they can crawl, or how far on either side they can run. They will never get past 2 men like this to get to me. They'll never lay their hands on me once. Right, Adrian?
No way. If they think they're gonna get to him, they're gonna come through me and Jesse the Executioner first. There's no way. No way. They can't even beat the two of us. We beat them like a pair of dogs. And now we've got a third man in there. Can you imagine where that's going to leave them? And these guys, they're just... They say that imitation is supposed to be the sincerest form of flattery. But I find it's an insult. These two guys have bleached their hair blonde to try and look like me. You see this? This is my music. This is my music. I don't need other people's music to come in. I don't sort of go picking whatever happens to be top of the pops and go in. This is mine, and this is top of the pops. This is better than Elvis Presley. Far better than Elvis Presley. I've sold more records in Europe than Elvis Presley's sold. These guys, they go in there with their bleached blonde hair, trying to look like me. They look like two little ugly ducks. Two ugly little ducklings trying to look like a beautiful swan. Me, the beautiful swan.
Well, the match is made. It'll be Jesse Barr, Adrian Street, and Jimmy.
We showed them what we could do last week, but they got off very lucky because they're still walking around. If they try to lay one finger on Jimmy here, they'll never walk again. I'll break both their legs if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to stand there and tell me he can't do it?
I want to see him do it, and that's the reason the match is made. Jimmy Cornette, Jesse Barr, Adrian Street will be going against the Fabulous Ones, Stan and Steve, and it'll be a handicap match you'll be interested in see. Right now, we're going to take time out. We've got more action coming up, and we'll be back to it in just one moment. I'm sorry the wait is so long, but we're delighted that so many folks want to come up and join us right here. We're going to be in the ring in just a moment and going to be telling you all about the action coming up. The Mid-South Coliseum, also the complete action. But right now, we are being visited by Jimmy Hart and part of the First family.
You know, Russell, this is great. I mean, you stood out here last week along with me, and we heard Eddie Marlin say, and I quote, Jimmy Hart, if you and Bobby Eaton can take the mask, and I say mask, off of Stagger Lee and prove that it is Coco Ware, then I'll make him leave this territory for 1 year. Am I right or wrong?
That's correct.
Okay,
Absolutely.
That's exactly what we were doing in the ring, baby. We were trying to take the mask off of Coco Ware, and that's what Eddie Marlin told us to do. We did for once in our life what Eddie Marlin asked us to do and told us to do is take the mask off, and then here comes Jerry Lawler, man, the cavalry. He comes out from the back and wants to interfere with us. Well, let me tell you something, baby. We've got all of them right exactly where we want you this time. You know, everybody's saying, don't worry, baby. I'm going to turn you loose, big man. But let me tell you, everybody says, how bad are the Bruise Brothers? Well, I'm going to show you how bad they are. Baby, get a shot of this. You don't make the front cover of this nationwide, worldwide magazine overnight, man. That's how bad they are. Aren't they cool, man? Tell them how bad we are, baby.
We are so bad. We are so bad. You know, I woke up last night and I was hitting my own self. Bam, bam. You know, that's how bad I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand bad.
I am so bad. I walk in the bathroom and I saw myself in the mirror and I started punching myself. You know why? You know why?
Tell me why.
Because I wanted to know how tough I was. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey,
That's how bad we are.
you guys are going to need all
You know
of
what I'm
that.
saying? We are the baddest men in professional wrestling. Now, Jimmy, I want you to tell them, because I don't want to talk to them bunch of hillbillies out there.
Well, like I said before, you want to know how bad? You're going to see how bad, because now what they've got Lawler, Coco Ware, and Dundee, and that's just what we want, right, beautiful Bobby? Tell them, baby.
First of all, everybody knows Stagger Lee is Coco Ware, and everybody knows today that he's got the Mid-America belt, but nobody knows how he got it. One thing I do know, Lance, and Jimmy, you know too, he's a thief, he's a turncoat, because Coco Ware, Stagger Lee, whatever it is, could never beat me because I'm too good of a wrestler. Now he's got two guys backing him up, Lance. Jerry Lawler, his partner, and Bill Dundee. These guys are nothing but guys that's going to stay in the back, and they're going to watch Coco Ware go down, because I guarantee you, Eddie Marlin told Jimmy Hart, and he told myself, if we take that mask off, he's going to be gone for 1 year. So I guarantee you this, and I guarantee you, Jimmy, I'm going to promise to you, Coco Ware, I'm going to take your mask off, and you're going to leave for 1 year, and I'm going to leave you, Lawler, and I'm going to leave you, Bill Dundee, with these two bad men right here. These two bad men right here. We're going to get that on y'all two guys. Hey, baby, I want you to hold Bill Dundee. I want you to hold Jerry Lawler, and leave Stagger Lee to beautiful Bobby Eaton. Stagger Lee, I'm going to take your hood off, Daddy, and when it's all over with, the Bruise Brothers, beautiful Bobby Eaton, and my manager, Jimmy Hart. I love you,
That's
Jimmy.
right, baby. And like I said before, baby, I promise you this. I will stand in the middle of that ring, and it will be the greatest day of the family's life. Come on, baby. We're mad, baby. We're
This
mad.
time it won't be 4-on-1. It'll be more even odds. Okay, Jimmy Hart, Bobby Eaton, and the Bruise Brothers. And they'll be going against the team of Lawler, Dundee, and Stagger Lee. That's only one of the matches coming up Monday, and I did, in fact, want to bring to your attention all of the action that'll be taking place at the Mid-South Coliseum. Remember, you can get your tickets on sale up until 5 o'clock today, and, of course, all day on Monday, an opportunity to see all of the championship wrestling matches if you get there at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Remember that. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, rather than Monday night. It'll be a Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock, Mid-South Coliseum, so that your tickets will be on sale, not all day on Monday, as I said, but today up until 5 o'clock. And, of course, you can get them up until match time tomorrow at the Coliseum. Opening bout's going to be Galaxian, courtesy of the Sheepherders, will be going against Jonathan Boyd, and it is assured that Boyd is going to have one hand tied behind his back so that he's not going to have any advantage in terms of battling Steve-O. That's all tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock the time at the Mid-South Coliseum, an opportunity for you to see all of that wrestling action. We hope maybe you'll get everybody out. Good day to bring the family down from wherever you are, because you've got plenty of time to get there, and you'll be able to get it together and get on back wherever your home may be before dark time. Coming out right now, two of the greats of wrestling, the superstar Bill Dundee and Jerry the King Lawler. Billy and Jerry, you saw... Mid-America heavyweight champion Stagger Lee guys that'll be joining him right in the middle of the ring tomorrow afternoon.
And it looks like he's got a belt that used to belong to Bobby Eaton, and I might emphasize used to, because you see, Bobby Eaton is no longer the Mid-America champion. Jimmy Hart no longer has any champions in his stable. And now, Bill, you know, he's brought in these Bruise brothers, and he's telling everybody they're not from the Motor City, they're not from the Windy City, they're from Fist City. Well, I'll tell you, that's where we like people like that to be from, because that's what we like to see. When we get in that ring, we want the fist to be flying, and that's exactly what I intend to have happen down there tomorrow afternoon. They're not going to take this man's mask off. They are not going to beat Bill and myself. There will be somebody from Fist City, and when it's over, that's where they're going to be going back to. Hart, I want to say one thing. I hope that you stick your nose close to that ring, because you talk about fist. This is one right here that'll be right upside that big, long, stinking, pointy nose of yours, brother.
Well, Billy, it's going to be one of those kind of fights that I think you've had a few of before.
That's right, brother. Hey, Jimmy Hart and Coco Ware. See how you even got me thinking? That's Stagger Lee right there, brother. That's right. Now, let me tell you something, Bobby Eaton and Jimmy Hart. You know what you look like standing out here? You look like an Oreo cookie, brother. You know what that is? That's the cream between two cookies, brother. Well, this guy's going to eat one of the cookies, and I'm going to eat the other one. And sweet Stagger Lee, he is going to be all over you eating. Take a look at that belt, boy. I bet your belly's turning around grinning with envy. Now, I'm not bragging, but when the king and the superstar get together, there ain't no team in the whole wide world can beat it. And when we got old Stagger Lee here, brother, we're going to jump all over you.
Stagger Lee? You know, I know, Bobby, this is the last time you're going to see this belt, because this is on Stagger Lee, because who's that talking about Stagger Lee? You know, they're talking about how bad they are, the Bruise brothers and everybody. There ain't nobody going to get old Stagger Lee mask, and I guarantee you that, Lance Brother. Who's that talking about Stagger Lee? Who's that?
Okay, well, at least we'll have an opportunity to see the three of them together, and not just Stagger Lee by himself. That's all tomorrow afternoon, the Coliseum. We're going to take time. I'll be back with action in a moment. You can see those coats are glistening away. Let's get them over here. The fabulous one.
All right. Lance, we're good to see you.
Okay, Stan in dynamite shape, and you guys just keep on doing your thing, and as a matter of fact, you keep those Southern tag belts warmed up and ready to go, even though sometimes they're not exactly in your possession, Steve.
Well, they're not exactly in our possession right now, Lance.
You are the champion.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that, Lance. You know, it's really hard to come out here and do an interview about Adrian Street and Jesse Barr because they're so different, you know. One's a man and the other's, well, I'm not really sure what it is, and I don't want to get myself in trouble with the gay liberation out here, but I'll say this. You know, I really appreciate y'all carrying our belts around because they've gotten awful heavy in our bag, and I notice that it isn't doing you a lot of good just to be wearing them. You know, Adrian Street, that's about the closest you've ever come to being a man is to carrying that belt. The other place is about the closest you ever come to being a man is when you stand in here between us. And I'll tell you something. Bring Jimmy Cornette. You know, Jimmy Cornette started off his career with a bang. First, he went through Dutch Mantel. Then he tried to sign Superstar. He's tried to sign Jerry Lawler. He's tried to sign all the greats. I will admit that. But now he's got two half-wits. He's got Jesse Barr, who was a great amateur. I'll take nothing away from him there. But right now he's got a partner, Adrian Street, that I'm really keeping my mouth shut. I'd like to lay back and not say anything. Let's Stan talk. He's a little bit better talking to me, and he won't get us in trouble.
Okay.
You know, Lance, I just got to say this is going to be short and sweet. Steve and I can't wait till tomorrow, Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, to head to that Mid-South Coliseum because Jimmy Cornette's going to be in the ring, brother. A guy that probably knows nothing about wrestling, a guy who probably never participated in any athletic sport in his life. He probably spent the better part of his whole life playing with Barbie dolls in his rich mama's house.
That's why he gets along with Adrian so well.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of his rich mother, you know, he wouldn't even be in this profession if it wasn't for his rich mother. All that money buys almost everything, Lance, as you know. It's also the root of all evil. But let me tell you something, Jimmy Cornette. Steve Kern and Stan Lane have several things to say to you, and that's this. Jimmy Cornette, tell Jesse Barr your mama.
Your mama.
Tell Adrian Street your mama, and tell your mama your mama.
Okay. Fabulous ones. We're ready to see him in action. And, brother, when you see him in action, you are seeing a really dynamite tag team go.